everyone, so let's dive into something pretty amazing today. A deep, powerful connection that stretches all the way across India. We're talking about the bond between Kashi, the spiritual heart of the north, and the cultural soul of the south, Tamil Nadu. This is a story that's literally thousands of years old, and right now it's being celebrated in a huge way that's bringing all that incredible history roaring back to life.
So you have to ask, right? What really connects these two seemingly worlds apart powerhouses of Indian culture? Well, it turns out it's a story of shared faith, a deep thirst for knowledge, incredible pilgrimages, and a shared identity that has just echoed down through the centuries. So let's unpack that together.
And this ancient connection isn't just something you'd read about in a history book. Nope. It is being actively rekindled right now through this massive, vibrant event that's put the whole story right back in the national spotlight.
And that event is called the Kashi Tamil Sangamam. So what is it? Well, at its heart, it's a month-long festival, a huge cultural exchange. But its real mission is to celebrate and, maybe more importantly, to help people rediscover the deep historical ties between the Tamil people and the holy city of Kashi. And it's all organized by the Ministry of Education.
And when I say it's a huge undertaking, I am not kidding. Just to give you a sense of the scale, in one edition alone, about 2,400 delegates, we're talking students, artists, farmers, you name it, traveled all the way from Tamil Nadu for this immersive experience. And they didn't just visit Varanasi, they also made trips to other sacred sites like Ayodhya and Prayagraj.
But here's the thing. To really get why this modern event is so significant, we've got to travel back in time. Because this isn't some new connection that's being invented out of thin air. It's a really old one that's being remembered, with roots that go back centuries and centuries.
For hundreds of years, these two regions have been just deeply intertwined. And this wasn't some casual thing. It was like a fundamental part of their cultural and spiritual DNA, built on this foundation of shared beliefs and this mutual quest for knowledge.
Okay, this timeline really lays out some of those solid historical moments. Take the 15th century. There's this amazing legend about King Parakrama Pandya, who goes all the way to Kashi to get a sacred lingam. On his way back, the cow carrying it just stops, refuses to move. So what does he do? He installs the lingam right there on that spot, and that's how the town of Sivakasi was founded. The Pandyas even built a temple in Tenkasi and called it the Kashi of the South, so people who couldn't make the long journey north still had a place to go. Fast forward a bit, and you have a Thomas saint setting up a spiritual center in Varanasi, and the connection gets reinforced again in the 19th century by another king. It just keeps going.
And this quote right here, wow, it just says it all about the intellectual bond. Kashi wasn't just a place for prayer, it was the ultimate center of learning. If you were a scholar from the south, a trip to Kashi was like the final piece of the puzzle. It was the capstone of your education. It's what made you a true master.
And these connections weren't just for kings and scholars. They were woven into the very fabric of everyday life. Pilgrims would bring holy water from the Ganga in Kashi all the way back down to Rameshwaram to complete their spiritual journey. You see the name Kashi on hundreds of temples across Tamil Nadu. The name Kashinath is still popular. And even for modern icons, like the great poet Subramanya Bharati, Kashi was a place of deep, profound awakening.
All right, so with all that incredible history as the backdrop, let's jump back to the present and look at the Sangam today. What's the official purpose? Why this big push to revive this connection now?
Well, the official goals are pretty clear. It's all about deepening those people-to-people bonds and really fostering this understanding of a shared heritage. But what's really key here is that this whole thing is framed within this bigger national vision of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat, one India, greatest India. And it also ties directly into the national education policy, which puts a new emphasis on being rooted in Indian culture.
And check this out. This isn't just a cultural festival. It has some serious academic heavy hitters behind it. The fact that two premier institutions, IIT Madras from the south and Banaras Hindu University from the north, are partnering up, well, that shows a deep commitment to making this a really meaningful exchange of knowledge.
Now, of course, an initiative of this size and importance is going to get people talking. It's going to spark some debate. So how has the Sangamam actually been received, and how has it changed since it first started? So the reception has been mixed, you could say. On one hand, you have some political analysts calling it a cultural masterstroke, a really effective way for the Prime Minister to connect with the people of Tamil Nadu. But on the other hand, you have critics who see it more as a political play for votes. There was also some controversy when the state government didn't participate, with both sides reportedly blaming each other for that.
What's really cool is that the event hasn't just stayed the same. It's grown and evolved each year.
The first one in 2022 was all about that initial reconnection. By 2023, they were using technology to help bridge language gaps. And by 2025, the theme got super direct and interactive. Tamil Karkalam, which means learn Tamil. They actually brought teachers from Tamil Nadu to teach the language in Kashi. How cool is that?
And they keep adding these really innovative, creative elements. Get this. One of the standouts was the Sage Agastya vehicle expedition. It was a convoy that traveled all the way from Tenkasi to Kashi. It was this incredible tribute to a Pandya king who was all about this idea of cultural unity. I mean, they were literally bringing ancient history to life on the roads of modern India.
So, as we start to wrap this up, what is the real spirit of all this? What's the core message behind this massive confluence of cultures?
Well, in the words of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Sangamam is all about furthering that spirit of One India, Greatest India. The idea here is that this unity isn't some new political project. It's a timeless spirit that has always been there in India, flourishing through everything from our art and music to our festivals and food. And that leaves us with a really important question to think about. You know, in a world that can often feel pretty divided, can looking back and rediscovering these deep, ancient, civilisational bonds actually help us build a more united future? It's a powerful thought to end on. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.